It's so good. Drink it in. The success of those on Twitter who still left, who can school those who are on the left, the biggest loudmouths, like Seth Rogen. If you're on the top of Patriots.win, then you saw Gad Sad absolutely destroyed Seth Rogen on Twitter last night. So let's just look through it. I'll do my own excision of Seth Rogen in just a minute, but I do want to show you. Gad Sad was asked, about the rich lefty ideologues and why they are the way they are. And he says, hyperlinking his own video, he says, Seth Rogen is a classic example of what he's discussing here in this video. So he links a video and he tags Seth Rogen. Seth comes back, he says, I actually watched your video and it's so stupid. Why was I a left-wing socialist when I was broke and unemployed, according to your brilliant theory? He can't extrapolate very far, but none of them can. So just look at what was actually said in response. Because Gad is a great speaker, but he's a much better philosopher. So I think when he sits down to actually put his points down, it's a little bit easier to track with than his podcasts with Joe Rogan or these videos, for that matter. So he says, thanks for watching. Gratitude. Many young people are socialists when they are driven by immature impulses of utopia. Then they grow up. You are a grown man with tons of money. Your current stances are rooted in vacuous, empty signaling, rooted in a desire to belong in Hollywood. It takes zero courage to hold your stances within the entertainment ecosystem. You espouse bullshit rhetoric that wins you points at the cool kids parties, but you are otherwise as ignorant as my out-of-order toaster. I'd be happy to chat with you on my show, as you have a very large platform. As such, you have the opportunity to actually make a difference. Stop succumbing to the hero or the herd mindset. Learn how to think critically. Learn the meaning and implications of socialism versus capitalism. You are among the most privileged people in the history of humanity. And he goes on, and yet, you walk around as though you are a Che Guevara revolutionary. You are the product of capitalism. If you are a socialist, send me some of your money. I'm trying to build an interdisciplinary research institute. Lofty goals. It says, live out your convictions. If you are a socialist, you have no business being the beneficiary of the most capitalist industry in the most capitalist country. Ladies and gentlemen, the online castration of my famous buddy Seth Rogen is now complete. Proceed with your evenings. That's what he said. This is not my screenshot, by the way. But I thought it was worth pointing that out because Seth has been a loudmouth on Twitter, and I wanted to just walk through a couple of the things that he's said. So if you could, check out the bigger portion of your screen here. He's tweeted at and DM'd Donald Jr. so much that I can make my own little attempt at a shot at Seth Rogen. So here it goes. Seth is so pathetic that he wouldn't make a video calling out the Trump family and listing what their crimes are and giving the evidence and doing what the journalists can't do for 4.5 years. He won't produce something that actually has a documentary or some kind of journalistic integrity or quality. No, he makes pretend films. He makes films where he can play dress up and play with the truth and have lighting and everything else that he needs, editing, to have things look just the right way so that he can put it on screen and have you believe that it's believable. But he can't do the real one. He can't make something worth watching and have you take real value of it into your real life. No, he gives you pretend value for your escapism, for your pretend life, to get away from real life. So what does his real life look like? It's pathetic. He's messaging people in their DMs, can't get a response, is begging for a response. First, you can hardly read this, so I almost wasn't going to say, but he's messaged Donald Trump Jr. He says, sup, hanging with Seth Rogen, why don't you return his DMs? How about we all chill together and burn one? Don't tell, at James Franco. This, you're thinking, why would James Franco be messaging Donald Trump Jr.? It's because of this. Because Seth Rogen messaged him a handful of times that he himself took a screenshot and posted. And this is why I say it's so pathetic. Because it'd be one thing if Donald Trump Jr. were messaging Seth Rogen back and forth, and then had gone in, deleted his responses, taken screenshots, and posted it. But then you'd see this text be white. This is a blue text. So Seth Rogen thought this was a cool thing that he did. He was proud of this. He took screenshots of his phone, of his screen, showing you the messages that he sent to Donald Trump Jr. because he is proud of the messages that they are sending to the president's family. So here it is. He says, "Hey man, it's Seth. Your father's trying to discredit our media, collude with Russia, and destroy the environment. It would be super cool of you to be like, yo, Dad, why don't you stop all this and just go back to being just a TV guy? The majority of the world would be pretty psyched. Thanks." Okay, well, the majority of the world isn't who Donald Trump's supposed to represent, but that's lost on an idiot like Seth. So the next message, he says, "Also, please tell your dad that this Jason Chaffetz guy," yeah, the congressman, you know, the dude with the awesome Twitter handle, Jason in the House, should probably be investigating Flynn's connections to Russia because he got fired over it. Thanks, man. Have a good one. Wild. He then says, "Yo, I see you're going pretty hard at us Hollywood types. And I agree. Harvey's a piece of shit, and people should be speaking out against him. But are you aware that your father has been accused of sexual harassment? And several of women even admitted to sexual assault on tape." Really? I don't think so. "Maybe you should just denounce that. Just a thought, man. Have a good one." And then he adds, a few minutes later, again, no responses from Donald Trump Jr. The whole time through all these messages, Jr. never responds. He says, "Have fun shooting innocent animals." Now here's where my favorite part is, because you can see he's sending these messages. He's getting more and more agitated that he's not getting a personal response back. He's getting hyped up. He's getting wound around the axle. He's angry at Donald Trump, and he's taking it out on Donald Trump Jr. through the DMs. And gosh, he can't get a response. He's frustrated that he can't get a response. So he has to do one of two things. He can't send another message after saying, "Have fun shooting innocent animals." That's not even related to anything else he's ever sent. It's 8 a.m. So hard to claim that you were like, "Oh, I was at a party, my friend took my phone." Okay, so he deletes it, and he posts this in its place. "Hey man, I don't mean to come across as a weirdo or anything." Too late. It's too late. "Hey, I don't want to come off as a weirdo, but I've just realized I could message you, so I thought I would." You just realized that? You've been messaging him, dude. "So maybe your dad could investigate if his campaign was in talks with Russia leading up to the election, like his dad wouldn't know? Or maybe just have someone investigate Flynn's ties to Russia, or maybe just ask your dad to go back to hosting game shows. I bet he would prefer that. He doesn't seem to like this. Thanks, dude. Peace." Can you imagine? Can you imagine being so pathetic? With all of your multi-millions of dollars, the people you know, the access you know, the resources you have, but your point is so garbage that you don't use any of that. That's not going to get your point across, because those things are moving for real value, for real quality. If you have something really substantive to say, the better production value, the better you can drive that point. Also, the point stands on its own. But this is the opposite of that. This is, hey, I could use all these resources, all of the production value to really drive a good point, but I don't have a good point. So I'm just going to go and shitpost in the DMs of the president's son. Good work. If Hunter Biden had a DM that was open, what would that look like? Man, it would be fascinating to be a fly on that wall. So long as you wouldn't be arrested for seeing what you would see, because I'm sure that there's some child prawns in there. So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think this guy's probably involved in some of that too. I wouldn't doubt it, just based on the look. Anyways, let me know what you think. Share this video. Like this video. We need the help. We need the help sharing. Growth is slowing. So to that point, thank you for subscribing and supporting the channel, because I need your help to keep America afloat.